Have you ever felt a quiet nudge to create something, to sing, write, share, express yourself, but then doubted yourself before you even began? Well, today's conversation is for anyone who's ever felt that inner calling but wasn't quite sure how to trust it or where to start. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny show, where we explore spiritual wisdom, healing, and transformation to help you take charge of your destiny. I'm Ray Cownan, the founder of Radiant Angel Energy and a spiritual guide and healer, helping you reconnect with your divine presence and create a life of purpose and fulfillment through angelic Reiki guided meditations and intuitive journeys across past, present, and future lives. Now, the meaning of angel is messenger and destiny means to make, firm, or establish. And each week, my guests and I bring you messages to help ground divine wisdom into your everyday life. Now, in today's episode, I'm joined by the beautiful returning guest, Jemma Rosenthal, who is a singer-songwriter, creative life coach, and angelic Reiki healer. With a Reiki healer. I've got angelic Reiki on my mind, with an extensive background in both the performing arts and healing. She is the best-selling co-author featured in 3 women's anthologies and creator of 2 albums, Extended Love and Songs That Live Inside You. And if you've watched any of the shorts or any of my links to shows, quite often I will use Gemma's music in the background. Now, through her work, Gemma supports healers and artists to reconnect with their inner wisdom and confidently share their gifts with the world. So without further delay, hello, Gemma, and a warm welcome back to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Hi, Ray. Thank you so much for having me on again. I think it's the 3rd time we've been on together on this show. We've also been on the show with Graham as well. So I'm just really grateful to be here and I feel really honoured. And yeah, hopefully
Well,
you're feeling well today as well. And all
yeah,
the guests, not the guests, the
viewers.
viewing. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And to everyone watching, whether you're joining us live or watching the replay, we'd love you to be part of the conversation. So let us know what resonates, ask questions, or share your own experience in the comments. And please don't be shy. And I can see that Spiritual Leader 90 has not been shy at all. This will be food for the soul. And the songs certainly live inside me.
That's beautiful. Thank
That
you
is
so
absolutely
much.
beautiful. So, Gemma, why don't you remind us a little bit about your journey and what it really means to listen to our inner guidance, follow small nudges, and allow creativity to flow without needing everything to be perfect?
Yes, thank you so much. So I started creating from a very young age, around 5, or as soon as I could, walk and talk and do all the things. I then started to sing and write and dance, and I went to drama classes. And to be honest, I didn't have any limits on my creativity. I just liked it all. I like to do it all. But there was something that really drew me to writing songs in particular. And I did loads of cassette tapes where I'd record my voice and I'd play with my keyboards, making different sounds. And there was something magical about just being with my voice and being recording it down and creating something, just for myself at that point. And I continued to do this all throughout my teens, and I never really, I say I never really, I did share them sometimes with a couple of friends or family, but it wasn't something that I shouted about. Um, I think I did a project where I created an album cover for one of the CDs that I'd made, because my dad got me to go to a recording studio for my 16th birthday. But the songs didn't go anywhere. They were created for me, and it wasn't until I was 30 that, no, was it 30? No, I think I released a couple of songs in my 20s, but it wasn't until I was 33 that I released my first album, Extend Love. And I think I had a lot of shame about this for a long time, because one of the things, being female in the music industry as well, but just anyone in the music industry, creating something yourself can be quite hard to sort of get out there in any professional way. I figured out on my journey it was very difficult. But also, there was something so spiritual about the creation process that it felt almost like watered down when I would share it. And that there was something so amazing about just sitting with the piano, just singing whatever came to my mind that I needed in that moment. And I'm only just coming to peace with the fact that I did spend so long in that more, I suppose, yin phase, the creation phase, really. And it did take a while before those songs, and some of them never got shared, haven't been shared yet, and some of them did. And that was difficult for me because I saw these huge artists that everybody knows, and I always wanted to be like them, having all the praise and all the support and all the attention. But my music was very deep and very meaningful as part of a creation process. And now, obviously, I have shared and I have started to be more present online and to be more present in my community as well. And I started to value those connections around me and the people that support me. And coming back to the topic, creating from the soul, if you're somebody that does want to create and maybe put stuff out there, maybe you've already started, but you might have those kind of fear or doubts about, where do I start? What do I do? And really, it is about getting quiet and being with yourself and just being in that stillness and asking the questions, what do I need to heal right now? And it might be that you're led to writing, or it might be that you're led to singing or dancing, and it's about following those little nudges. And you might do all of them, like I do all of them, but obviously not always all at the same time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And I think sometimes we kind of like overload ourselves as well. We think we have to do all of it at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that can create a lot of stress, is thinking that you have to be everything at all times.
We all do it, whether we realize it or not. And quite often we think we're just doing one thing, but really we are trying to do lots of things at the same time, even though to our mind we're only doing one thing.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of things that I want to say. I want to say, like, if you are a multi-passionate creative, that there's beauty in that, and to keep doing that and to keep being you, and somebody that loves to do lots of different things. So it's not necessarily to get rid of that aspect, but at the same time, I've found that really focusing on one thing at a time can be so powerful, which is what I did in the last couple of years. I really focused on this album, and it's a spiritual practice, it's a devotional practice, because you're really nurturing this one baby creation thing that you're putting out into the world. And it might be a show, for example, like Ray does, it might be some cards. I have a card deck as well. And I really enjoyed the creation process of that card deck. And what I want to encourage you is that to really honor your creativity and the creative process. So a lot of the time we spend so much focus on the outcome and focus on the applause or what you're going to gain from it. Whether people are going to buy it or all those things, which are important to think about and to consider. But what I want to kind of invite you into is to sense the energy of creativity as a being, as a living thing. A bit like I actually have this angel book. It's downstairs, and it was in where I work. I work at Sheffield Wellness Centre doing Reiki healing sessions and creative life coaching. And downstairs is a vintage shop. And I went into this vintage shop one time and I was drawn to this angel book. And I open it up and it says, "I am the angel of creativity." And I had prayed earlier in that day to be shown how to connect more with my creativity in a playful way. And this was a confirmation. And the guy that runs the shop ended up giving me the book because I'm not saying that that's what he does all the time. So I'm not saying
No.
going in there and just ask him to give you a book. I didn't ask him to do this. I bought lots of other things and he just said, and I didn't have much money to buy other things. And he just said, "I think you're supposed to have this book." And he's somebody that's, connected to the spiritual realms. And he told me lots of stories about different things. And that was a really nice connection. And yeah, I wanted to tell that story because the angel of creativity, it's about connecting creativity as a spiritual practice and this devotion that when you have either, it could be the devotion to just practicing, just starting. So it might be that you just go, okay, I'm going to get some pen and paper and just every day I'm going to either do some what Julia Cameron calls morning pages. I don't know if you've ever read the Artist's Way book. I have it with me here, but there's a practice where you just spend every morning just writing, journaling, and whatever comes out of your head, you just pop it down on the page. And this is recommended whether you're a writer or whether you're an artist or a dancer or whatever your practice is. These morning pages are recommended by Julia Cameron, who's a creative coach. But she talks about the creativity being a spiritual practice. And this is something that I've done in my own life as well. And it can be the practice of just simply trying out things, asking the universe, like I did, show me, what does the angel of creativity want to show you today? And I think that day also I got shown about muse. So that was a really funny thing because we were getting a piano, a full-on piano we have downstairs. So I live with my partner, and we were getting the piano delivered, and the houses that we got the piano from, they were in it, like a muse,
Yeah.
like MEWS, muse, yeah. But I thought it was spelled MUSE. So I typed in on Google about what is a muse, like. And then obviously it came up about creative muses. Like, and there was a story about, I think it was Virginia Woolf, the house as a muse, and she used to use the different places where she lived as her creative muse, as the thing that she would write about. And I remember I told this story to a client who was a writer as well, and she was a bit blocked in her writing practice. And through the sessions, I shared this story, and she also read the article. And through the sessions, I invited her to create a space, really dedicate time to your writing. And she had I think it was a caravan space that she was going to with her partner, and he was doing his art, and then she was doing her writing practice. And she came back and she said, Gemma, I've done the work for the book, and it was really exciting, because there really is something about dedicating a space and a time to do your creative practice as a spiritual practice. And of course, you can also do your spiritual practices, your meditation, your yoga, your Reiki healing, all of those things as well can support creative practice, and vice versa. So your creativity can also support your Reiki and everything else. I get really creative with my Reiki healing, because I'll use all sorts of different sound healing tools. I might have songs that pop into my mind that I might recommend for the client, or I might have a vision of something or feel it. So it's a very creative practice, energy healing as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's wonderful that you kind of like do that. It's kind of like going back to childhood and playing
Yes.
and in just experimenting and seeing what works with what doesn't work, and just having fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is one of the practices I do with my clients as well. So I might do it with you guys right here, is to just think of a time, and you can close your eyes if this helps, when you were younger, as a child, when you felt really free and playful and creative. What were you doing? And try to really relive that feeling, see where you were. Were you inside? Were you outside, running on fields? Were you singing with your friends? Were you making up dance routines? That's what I used to do. But whatever you were doing, just really see the colors, or hear the sounds, feel whatever it was that you were engaged with, and really see it as a full embodied experience. And just to connect that playfulness inside of you, that joy and that innocence. And just spend some time with that child who loved to play. And now you're going to come back into the present moment, but see if you can take with you a little bit of that spark of joy and playfulness just into this present moment, because that inner child is still with you. They may not get a chance to express themselves as much, but they're here. Okay, and see how you feel right now. I know Ray's smiling. So what did you see?
Well, I actually went to two
Uh-huh.
things. So went back to when I was probably about 8 or 9, something about that. And we used to have a swing in our back garden. And I love the Famous Five. Enid Blyton's the Famous Five. Always wanted to be George. And I used to be in the garden, and I'd be, I was a bit of a tomboy, so I'd be climbing on walls and on the swings, and actually using that as having adventures as the Famous Five. And then I went back to when I was even younger, So before I was 7, and I used to love Hong Kong Phooey. And I remember sitting there playing as what was her name? The woman who did the telephone. Oh, what was her name? Oh, I can't remember. But she used to connect all the phones, and I'd sit in my bedroom playing, doing that, and living the Hong Kong Phooey stuff. So that's what I went back to.
And what did it make you feel when you went back to those memories?
Oh, it was just fun, and being in a world, in a world, a story, creating stories.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyone who's watching this live or watching the replay, if you're happy to share, then let us know what what you experienced, where you went back to, and how does it make you feel when you actually come back and you bring that energy back with you. It'll be lovely to hear. And we will go back and look at any comments in the replays after the show. So we will see you. So we won't ignore you if
Yeah.
you're brave enough if you're brave enough to share. So is that an exercise you do with a lot of your clients?
Yeah, it depends on the client, of course, because it depends what people are working on. So I do tend to do that with clients who might feel a bit blocked in their creativity, but they're probably somebody that has or is creative, or was in the, has those memories. So then that really helps to connect them to that creativity. I remember one of the clients that I did that exercise with ended up being in a book with myself, one of the anthologies. So that was an amazing experience to see her go from being that creatively blocked to then published as a best-selling author. It was a chapter that we each did, but that was a really amazing experience, and the fact that there was so much synchronicity in her coming to me as a client at that time, and then I was involved in that book, and really feel that each client is brought to you at a specific time that might benefit them, but also when you find the right healer or the right coach, there's something magic about it, and there's something, yeah, amazing about the synchronicities that happen. Um, but yeah, I use lots of different exercises, um, depending on what the person is working on. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact you brought up synchronicities, because that takes us back to, when you asked that question that day and you went downstairs and you found the angel book and you opened the angel book and the angel of creativity.
Mhm.
It's being open to synchronicities when you actually ask those questions and look for the answers, and be
Yes.
aware when little things come in that you might normally ignore.
Absolutely, yes. Those little synchronicities and the things that seem to align. And I do think, like you said, it is a mindset, and it is about being aware of the synchronicities. Um, I'm thinking of a couple. There's loads of I mean, whenever I do anything, there's always so many synchronicities that it's hard to pick one. But I was thinking about when I did Trust the Flow, which you have shared a few times, my song. When I did the music video for that, and we were I'd gone with a friend to look at waterfalls, and we found this amazing waterfall, and we but the journey to get there was quite hard to, like, climb up all these rocks and different things, um and I was sort of thinking, oh gosh, we don't have the videographer with us, and we're going to have to do this again, and I'm not sure like whether the dancers are going to be able to like dance in this setting, so we'll have to have a different date for that. And then it just seemed like a bit much, because as soon as you add another date, that's more expenses and stuff like that, and just travel and things like that. So I just said to the universe, I said out loud, I was like, to my friend, not just to the universe, just said out loud, wouldn't it be amazing if there was already a videographer there and they would film me just doing some movements with the huge waterfall, and then they would give it us for really cheap, and then we would add it later. So we were, climbing, and I forgot about it. I just sort of just said it. Wouldn't that be great? It wasn't sort of a thing that I thought was going to happen. I just, oh yeah, that would be really nice. And then suddenly we get to the place and we can see the waterfall. So we're at the top. And then my friend goes, drone. And we're looking at this drone, and I'm going, oh my gosh, there is a videographer there. I thought, oh no, he's never gonna like film me. That's just not gonna happen. So I went up to him and I just thought, I'll just ask anyway. I said, hi, I'm doing a music video, and I know this is really cheeky, but would you be able to just film me? We have another videographer, but he's not here right now, and it would just be, I wasn't even made up or anything. I just had a scarf, so I just thought I'll just dance about with a scarf. And he said, no, I'm really sorry, but I've just finished, so not really gonna be able to do it. And I said, please, please, this would be really, really helpful. So he said, go on then, 5 minutes. And I ended up being featured on his YouTube channel. Where he talks about it. It's on the video. It's, I think, the link to both the video of him talking about it and also my video. It's on my YouTube, Jemma Rosenthal, Trust the Flow, and then I think his video is like linked underneath. But yeah, it was an absolutely incredible synchronicity, and I felt so lucky and so supported in that moment by the universe, and how fun it can be to be on this journey. And yeah, then we filmed the other parts with the dancers on a separate day, and we put it all together. So
Yeah, that's brilliant. But again, it brings us back to the point of you asked, the universe provided, but then you had to take the action because you actually had to go and ask the guy, and then sort of like go, please. Whereas if you said no, you could have gone, oh, okay, I'll walk away. But you sort of, I went, please, and you did.
A little bit cheeky, but yeah, yes, I did ask. And I think, yeah, you need to know when. This is about discernment as well, because it's not just always about pushing and forcing and saying please all the time, because there might have been other situations where I asked for things and it was a no. And if I had, forced it, it wouldn't have gone in that joyful way. It would have been, not the direction to take. So I think it's just, you have to be really discerning to know when to ask and when to hold back. And I think that's all part of it as well. And it can be challenging and confusing at times. But again, I think it's just going within and listening to those outer signs as well, and nudges and guidance and support, and just seeing what sparks your joy in that moment.
Yeah. And going with the flow.
Yeah, trusting the flow. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So how did you get into the anthologies? I mean, 2 of them. 1, but 2?
4.
4.
Yes, because I'm going to be in a Christmas one now.
Oh,
So it's all
cool.
together at Christmas. So that's coming out soon. How did I get into this is really bizarre as well, because I always wanted to write and be published, but it's not something that I chased. So it was just something that I did every day. I wrote. And then it was through a friend. The first one was through a friend that was being in a book, and she had met me on a like a group call where she was telling her story. So it was a storytelling and business call, and so we became friends. And then she was involved in that. So she asked me. She said, "Gemma, would you like to be involved in this?" And I said yes. And that was really scary at first, putting my story into a book. That one was called The New Woman. And I did focus a lot on my mental health journey and the courage it took to take the step to share my voice. And that was from a performance standpoint. So I journeyed a performance that I did of a poem called As a Woman, which I later actually did a music video for as well. And then the second one was, I'm forgetting the order now. I can't remember which one came second, but I know that I was in Words of the Wise, and that was my friend Siobhan who put together that. So she asked me to be in that. And then the third one was the same publisher that I'm now with as well, for the Christmas Together. And so that was just somebody found me online on my Facebook. Let me see if I can get the it was so that one's Skyline Publishing. I think they're called Carol. And she just found me, and then that's how these things happen. So I guess it just happened really naturally. I got asked, which is such a wonderful feeling, to be asked to tell your story. So I took the opportunities.
Cool. And again, it's when those opportunities come along that you actually take them. So I'm guessing that's sort of like, as we said at the beginning, if you have doubts about bringing out your creativity, it is kind of like that, journaling and being open to the synchronicities, taking the opportunities, and not letting fear or doubt, not letting fear get in your way.
Yeah. Leaning into the joy, I think, is one of the most, the easiest way to stop fear. Because when you can feel into something and go, I'm going to really enjoy this process, that kind of stops the fear for me. Even if I don't know what to write, or I don't know what it's going to be. Like even before this call, I had no idea what I was going to say. So there was a little bit of fear, but then I thought about the joy, the joy of connecting. And if there isn't joy, then it's probably not something that, obviously there is things that are difficult. So I'm not saying you'll feel joy in the entire process, not at all. There's some very difficult moments when you're doing anything creative. You'll face a lot of emotions that it might be fear, judgments, self-criticism, blocks, perfectionism. And I have a song called Perfectionism Recovery, actually, which I really recommend. It's on my album, and it says, the chorus is kind of a fun, like dancey, let go of anything that brings you down, like let go. But then the verses talk about this creative process, and it says it doesn't have to be perfect, it can just be what it is, you know. And I just loved creating that song, because when I first did it, it wasn't perfect. It was really rough. But by the time I worked with some amazing musicians, you know, I got an amazing sax player, Kent Roach, to do some sax on it, and amazing drummer involved as well. So it's like, that was Jay Hargreaves on the drums, and then I think the rest of it was me doing the production with Harriet Rayner. So it's, I think, collaborate. If you want to create something really positive and really, you know, exceptional, then or just fun, you know, with other people is what I recommend. However, there is something sacred about spending time with yourself. Like I did for many, many years, I just created by myself, and that's okay. And I do want to say to people, if you're in that phase right now where you're not able to open up to other people right now, and you just feel a bit more inward and you just want to create by yourself, that's okay. But then maybe question, is it your fear, or is it just that's your inspiration right now? So again, it comes back to discernment. And I did a really nice talk with Shanine Dawkins just recently about collaboration versus inward solo creation. She interviewed me, and that was a really lovely conversation. So if anyone wants to go more into that topic, they can watch that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And sometimes, yeah, collaboration, you know, I like to do lots of things by myself, but then I also enjoy being in collaboration with other people. I wouldn't be doing this show if I didn't like collaborations, you know, and talking to other people. But you know, there's a lot that I do by myself, but then I know that sometimes you need the other people, because what you think isn't perfect actually is perfect, but you can't see it because you want it to be even more perfect. But when someone else
Mm.
comes in, they go, but that is absolutely perfect as it is. You don't need to do more, because if you do more, then it won't be perfect anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you can over do something because of perfectionism. That's very true.
Yeah, yeah. So, as you know, I do guided meditation, saying oracle cards, and each week I like to ask my guests whether they would like me to pull an oracle card or do a guided meditation. But when I know that I have guests like Gemma, who have created their own deck and do lots of other things, it's kind of like nice to let them do something as well. So, Gemma, what would you like to do for us?
Well, I'm going to do a couple of things. So I'm going to pull from my card deck Self-Love and Creative cards, which was a collaborative process between me and Brenda from BT Design, although I think she's now rebranded, but that's what she was at the time. So that's the cover of it. And these cards are designed to help you connect to self-love and creativity. The name is in the cards. So I think these cards are perfect for today's topic, creating from the soul. So I'm going to ask the cards what card is perfect for people watching today. Wow. Okay, 2 has come out. Okay, 3. Well, I won't go into the back of the cards. I'll just sort of show you them. But on the back, there is tips and prompts and an affirmation. I do give card readings, so if anyone wants a card reading, then you can go on my website to book one of those, or you can purchase your own deck as well. So we have You Are the Music. So that's
Perfect.
perfect. We have Put Pen to Paper again.
Perfect.
And then we have You Are Supported.
Oh my God, all three things we've talked
Yeah.
about.
So all of these cards are guiding you to connect with music, and if you want to listen to our previous conversation, we talked about music and spirituality. That's on both of our YouTube channels, and so that dives more into that topic specific to music. Put pen to paper, that's talking about, you know, your journaling, which we've talked about, or it might be if you are somebody that wants to go into doing books or writing, just do it, do more of it. And then the you are supported. And I think this card is not just about being supported in the physical world, although that does come, but spiritually you are supported. And I've recently just remembered when I asked the songs, I connected to the song before I created this album. I connected to the songs as a spiritual being, like angel songs. I can't really describe it, but I asked them, you know, please can you help me to get these songs out there, because I feel really alone in this and I don't know how to do it. And then they told me they said, you're really good at connecting with us, but I want you to connect with your earth team. I was like, what do you mean? And so then afterwards, after I did this full writing journaling session with these earth music guides, they said, you will be provided with the support, we will help you, but you're going to have to trust us, and you're going to have to do the things that you might not necessarily want to do in terms of facing, you know, some of these fears and actually doing this practical work. And then a few days later, because I was away at the time when I did this journaling, I was on the Isle of Wight with family, and then we went to London, and then during that time I was looking on my phone and I saw an advert for the master's degree that I ended up doing in music performance production and business. So I received so much support in the process of recording, organizing, project managing, planning my marketing, and all these different things to then get to this point. And it didn't end there either. The support didn't end there, because I then met my partner during the process, Pablo Calvo, who is also a musician. And he gave me loads of support. So he actually helped me to get to this final stage, and so did my sister-in-law. So they really helped me with this booklet, and then my friend did the photography. So I couldn't, when I think about it, I'm just blown away.
Yeah. It is amazing how sort of like we get that inspiration from the angels, from spirit, from the universe, and then when we actually start going, okay, I'm going to trust that you're going to bring this to me. I'm going to be open to it, and then, oh, I spotted that. Right, okay, let me go and do that now.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant that it's around work like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've all heard of bibliography. For those that haven't, it's when you just open a book random to see what message it's got. You know, you open book random and you just put your finger on a sentence or something and see what the sentence says. And you can do that with your
Lyric booklet.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get the album, you also receive a lyric booklet, which has all the songs. It has some pictures in it as well. And then you also get an online course as well, which I can talk about in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to see what message is in the lyrics for us today. Oh, beautiful. Here for you. So I'm going to read this part, because this is actually a poem part of the song. It says, sometimes you feel like you're all alone, but there's a whole universe out here for you to know. And if you listen to the voices of the stars and the oceans, you'll hear how magnificent you are. And then the chorus goes, they're here for you, they're here for you. They're here for you, oh, they're here for you. And that's the picture.
Beautiful.
That's actually the one that I have on my thing. I'm trying not to get that one in, but yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that. And obviously we got a little taste of Gemma's singing
Yes,
there.
you can hear that song. It's on my album, Songs That Live Inside You, and you can either purchase the CD or you can purchase on Bandcamp, but you can also listen to it, stream it on all music platforms. The difference is when you purchase it, you get a free online course called Awaken Your Creative Energy. Of course, I forgot the end. Awaken Your Creative Energy, activations through albums. And I tell lots of stories of the creation process. So this course is for you if you're feeling a bit blocked on the creation process, if you feel like you've got that perfectionism or you feel those doubts, you don't really know where to go, what to do. You can listen to the album. That's a fun way to kind of ignite those creative spark. But you can also get the course, and it goes through both of my albums. So starting with Extend Love, and then going into Songs That Live Inside You. And I wasn't sure whether to do that at first. I thought, well, I want the new album as the first part, but then I realized it's a journey. Because I started with Extend Love, it's sort of helping you to go through those not logical, I suppose, guided steps, like songs like Trust the Flow. It's kind of like that activation, like a mermaid, like it's very fluid. On Extend Love, it's quite fun and poppy, whereas Songs That Live Inside You is a deeper, like more, I guess, more mature, obviously because I'm older, but also cohesive. It's like there's a lot of rock sounds in there, so it's like deeper kind of, but then there's also kind of folky, like, yeah, I don't know, it just felt right to kind of go in that journey. But yeah, so if you purchase it, you get the course as well, whereas if you go online, you can listen to it for free on my YouTube channel, on Spotify, on iTunes, on all the other platforms, Amazon Music, all those things. But I do recommend purchasing, not just because of the course, but also because independent artists, I don't know how much you know about the streaming, but they don't pay very well. So it's much better to buy if you can afford it. If you, they're £15, so, but yeah, and postage and packaging. But yes, if you can purchase, and obviously there's other things on my website as well. If you prefer a card reading or one of the books, then they're there as well, or a session. I have so many offers. It's hard to think of that go with your gut and go with your inspiration. If there's anything that we've shared that's inspired you today, feel free to reach out. Feel free to follow my pages for more, at Jemma Rosenthal and at creativehearts.coach.
Yes, and I will put all the links in the comments after the show. So, as you did a lovely thing for us, I'm going to pull a card for you, Gemma, and everyone watching. So, as a thank you for that. So, what does Gemma and everyone who's watching this live or the replay need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? What does Gemma and everyone who's watching this live or the replay? Oh, okay, we'll go with that one, shall we?
What is it?
Answering the call. The time is now.
Yes. That's beautiful.
I mean, how apt, that comes exactly with what we were talking about with the cards that have come out. As always, the angels and the universe has tied everything together. So, it is saying to Gemma and to everyone here, answer that call. The time is now. It is the time now to be getting our voices heard, to be getting ourselves out there, to get our talents, our gifts, our inspirations, our ideas, our energy out there. Because when we're doing it from a place of love and empowerment, then we are doing so much for the collective energy and raising that energy so that every single living thing can live the most beautiful life that they can live with joy and happiness, and love, which is what we all want, in the end. So yeah, it's beautiful that those cards have come out. So Gemma, do you have any last words or insights or wisdom that you want to share with us before we go?
I think you said it all in that last bit, but just to reiterate, I suppose, on that point, and just to talk directly to you, if you're listening to this, I want you to know that your voice matters and your creative ideas are important. And every step that you take, even if it's just to do something for yourself, matters. And to honor your journey, to honor the times when you made mistakes, but they're not really mistakes, but just trust that you will be supported and guided, and ask for help. Yeah, get support. We're here if you need as well, and don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what I would say.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Gemma, for sharing your journey and wisdom with us today. It's been an inspiring conversation, as always, and fun, as always. So, thank you so much for joining us today, especially those that have been watching live, those that are watching the replay. It's a pleasure when you watch and comment, and interact with us. And remember, please feel free to share any inspiration, any wisdom, any guidance you got from today's show. Or if there's any questions you want to ask, we will circle back to this. And of course, if you'd like to deepen your connection with the angels, then you'll find my free 5-day angel connection journey linked in the description. And you'll also find details about my Angel Wings membership and Soul Path Discovery program if you feel called to explore further. And if you enjoyed this episode, then you'll definitely love the other conversations in the Angels and Destiny playlist, as it's filled with guidance, healing, and inspiring stories to support you on your spiritual journey. So do check it out now. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, then don't forget to subscribe, click that bell button, to be notified of when this show goes live, and share this video with anyone who you feel might need a little angelic guidance today. And remember, every time you like, share, comment, support any of my work, any of Gemma's work, any of my guests' work, by watching our videos, listening to us, commenting, liking, sharing, you are being part of that beautiful web of getting this inspiring energy out there. And remember, you are never alone on your path. The angels are always with you. Take care until next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.